ceaseless prison bookkeeping. The California Great Coats are coming. Lynch mob gossip and bourgeois debt collection. It's tempted to change professions mid-poem. In the Chicago briefing, a white sergeant saying blank slate for all of us after this black organizer was dead. Standard academics toasted two-buck wine at the tank parade. Bay of nothing, Lord. Just nuclear cobblestones, gun line athleticism, and the last of the inherited asthma. Children giving white dolls to play with in fear. Facial expressions borrowed from rich people's shoestrings. I can hear hate and teach hate. They call tools by people names and name people dead to themselves. No one getting naturalized except federal agents soon. Carving the equator in the throat soon. I'm sorry to make you relive all of this, Lord. All of this pre-dime monarchy, friends putting up politician posters and snorting the remainder of the pace. Minstrel script shoveled into the walls by their elders. My children sharpening quarters on the city's edge. For these audiences, I project myself into a ghost-like state. For these gangsters, I do the same. Every now and then, take a nervous look east. Sleep becomes Christ. Sleep starts growing a racial identity. Do you ever spiral, Lord? Has the gang age betrayed us? Be patient with my poems, Lord. So much pain is a point to ground. It has to be a phrase traders come with it. Lord, is that my revolver in your hand? Better presidents than these have yawned in cages. Have called us holy slaves. Filled the school libraries with cop documentaries. Baby, I don't have money for food. Shit, I don't have a present moment at all. I'm off to make a church bill out of a bank window. Hey, kitchens meant more to the masses back in the day. Before that, we had no enemy. Somewhere in America, the prison bus is running on time. You're gonna want to lose your job before a revolution hits. Somewhere I won't be home for breakfast. Everyone out here now knows my name, and I won't be turned against for at least 4 months. The cop in the picking line is a hard-working rookie. The sound in my hands getting more and more laughs since the picking line got cops in it. I can take care of those windows for you if you want, but someone else got to go inside your gas tank. It was clear to me that rich people had talked too much this year. Hey, why don't you go ahead and throw down that Marble Park bench everyone's looking up at? Get the fucking Romans out of your mind. Maybe a good night's sleep would have changed the last 20 years of my life. Playing the instruments like punching the wall. What would you have me do? Replace the population, get brotherhood back to the winter, stop smoking cigarettes with the barely did. They listen in on the Sabbath. Police called the police on me. There was a white candlestick beneath my detention. I ruined the suit again. Talked to the judge as he took off his pilgrim robe behind the white people's door. And more. I didn't get lucky. I got what was coming to me. He told, "Say, fight me back," the man said. Of course, to himself. Washing windows with a will to live. Tin can on his left shoulder. Enjoying the bright, brand new black with all party goers, both supernatural and supernaturally down there. What the fuck is this elevator? Traveling side to side? Like 1,000 bitter Polaroid pictures that you actually try to eat all the furniture on this street, nailed to the cement, cheap furniture, but we have commitment. This morning an essay opens a conversation between enemies. Why? Because you control every grain of processed sugar between here and a poor person's border. Because in a tin can on my left shoulder, I can hear the engines of deindustrialization. Man, you should get in a painting, Tell lies more deeply. This month I'm rooting for the traitor, carting cement to my pillow. Here we'll build. I'm high again. Not talking much. Hey, why don't you climb up the organ pipe again into our apartment for me? I'm high again. Calling everything church, singing along to a courtyard thanks to a horn player's holy pastime. Just putting a real jacket on it. Talk about a real 5 years. Keep memories like these in the pocket next to the toll receipt. That man lost a wager with the God of good causes. He stood up for himself a little too late, maybe too early. I can still see 20 angles of his jaw, zigzagging through the cold world of deindustrialization. There is an art to it. I will tell my closest friends one day. When a drummer is present, they are God. I am not an I. I am a black Cummins. I'm writing my new tattoo out on bus station glass, making tattoos all afternoon, trying to talk myself into seeing the decade through. Now I must really be the devil's front man. Staring at an empty bus that I imagine in fact carries paintings of people. And a man drunk behind the wheel has to choose between a black and white toddler. After school in America on a California street, he doesn't even name nor California. No one on the street has a job and therefore no one is there. I colored my oppressor's gun and dance floor for him in the same day. The joke began. The walk on the bus seats is fine by me as long as I get to the front. The joke concluded. And Tuesday is rotten soup, a downhill entertainment, a commotion in the ashtray, the day that jail quotas get filled to the day that the planet plays flat. And maybe a capitalist says stadium seats on fire and calls it economic progress. Communists got plenty of time to finish their cigarette and lie to their boss. A killer lying down in front of a tank. I have a small statue built in my chest and also an anchor upside down in the air. Worried about the walls, I forgot that the ceiling was closing in on me too. That's my take on my alcoholism. I'm hunched over a meal I ate 5 years ago. That's my take on the look on my face. Cursed got a little, took another step up the staircase, and for a second I forgot all occupants of the world beginning with this house.
are being run. The mountains scarred by invisible bars. The stillness is on guard. The wind has gone, the invisible calm. Your memories are being run. The mountains scarred by invisible bars. The stillness is on guard. Oh, the wind will come, blow, answer echoes, answer. Oh, the wind will come, blow, answer echoes, answer. Oh, the wind will come, blow, answer echoes, answer. Oh, the wind will come, blow, answer echoes, answer. Oh, the wind will come, blow, answer echoes, answer. Oh, the wind will come, blow.
And the pearl shell flesh is where you find it, collecting over the basins between your mouth and tongue. This is the word they're hanging over over the humming in the. You can find the mosquitoes sounding over the liquid and over your saltiness in your skin. This tongue is so nectar for the blinding of the bees that breaks beaks. This to find attention, the cold, the sweat, the height, night. This is the middle of the dick, the catching flat. Or echoing of the dizziness and the life of the body plunging. You cross the window for the scratching with the empty fist. Hollowness of the dissimple symbol over the word of blood squeals over the totality for the loneliness and the absurd enough for the final laugh. The face of life that consumes your body, detach yourself from the head. Once you thought the damage was her from the mind, for the heart, for this primitive enough that she met wisdom, for the who taught her in the pain, or wounds to eternal, for the be the same, for the healing of the love, for that you can grow, for the toughest places that you've ever been. Do you have time to linger for just a while longer? Or out of your busy for the very important day, for the disappointed goldfinch just half gathered for the field of the thistles, so you can find a music battle. The highest note for the lowest, and then for the fine expressing of what you find tender enough for the strong, blunt, meek, seek, all, find, eventually. It was no predicament that could be explained, rearranged to fit your perception, and what it contained wasn't the relevance in the course. It was the course that was the relevant. But for the beginning, and you recorded, or you could abort it. This to bring the sample time, for this the reminding of the what the good, the grief, for this the appearance of the control over the disobedient. Pain tricks the body thinking life is insane enough for the flow to between the perplexed, this defined. Pressed. Hold. Lift. Maybe. If you're listening. Listless like the moon divine, it is the heart that curdles over your loving it. But assured enough of that unconditionally is fine as true. Nothing beautiful to admire the eyes when I draw them near. For the soul is only the drawing paper for the tears, and they scratch and catch the shirt and over the need to find it, use it and flirt. They granted the nail for the carving, and to the ways that I failed and never to find, to die to spat on the ground. For this would be the only way I was found. A recipe for where I could play the God, and never to craft the qualities together for the every sweetheart I've loved. And their laughter to dance with the breeze, and the courage to weather the life of the seas, and never to find a kindness. The flow like the river for the passion, and their touch this made me quiver. And never their wisdom, they're drawn near the trials, and never their own known. And the mirrors to the mosaic in this song. No matter what we do and what we say, are we happy? Would you believe in atrocity, for the regret is still overwhelming at best? Infatuated with the plane of love, for this to find a lesson, this is hurting them, and not the living on the reward you find a hurt, and this diluting under the polluting into the bodies and the minds, and the quenching of the fractured soul. Heart begins to flutter as I said. Words begin to stutter for the pain. The palms become sweaty enough to this lift, to this load, this heavy, if enough for to be unconditional, and enough for the mind sleeping on the floor, or being loved. Whereas love, when you can find a hope to be, or more. The flames around the head of the lion for the who dug his own grave, for the top of the hill for the who was waiting and the watching you shy to pray. Or catching the strange feels and to make that catch a cold, for this letting you wait outside it long enough for the holding to be more. The roaring of rudeness, and never the impatient strolling of the tears of the flesh of his face. And whatever becomes of it, never to find that this to be the cipher depth, you could take it to the blazing of endings and the dawn of golden hope. Just as it is, for the rescue is yours alone, for this to become the gift completely up to you, for the only not to be opening again, for the knowing of it you will walk away, for the already given and will be willing to. Price the ticket and never to find a hard pressing and wise think of value for the price of surpass. Sense enough for the present day, precious the life to hang on to the balance of this teetering over the edge of the eternity for the mirror sun, and over the less of the net to be the precious life for this had gone in an instant. Spot evaluation for the this to be the piece, for approximately what you have to your press. Something less profane enough that you can find the same, remain prepared to be stabbed to the back again, the shot close enough the range in the head for this to be the yours, and the trust that you can find a knife and kill. Kill time for the river to find what's in the world in vain, and this will the rest in the pieces to help the cry. You would know that you would surely die for knowing the good and evil and this to be defined, and it's the same for the passion and for the kiss and embracing over the sunsets, and you can never forget it, never the energizing of the soul, but the no greater for the awakening of your own existence and the distracting from all the case of facing and bringing us down. In the silence, hush, tranquility of my contemplations, clamor, the globe diminution over the mirror murmur, thoughts, often wonder for the illusion or the illustration of the figure, for the antiquity, for the myth, essence, lavish and that for the vision, matter for the perpetual, for the discourse, distance, mistakenly for the sovereign over your domain and replenish, riches of your ebony for the source of this embody. Contemplating over the fortitude, for this to be the attitude, for the naturally, this to be crafted enough for the tale, for the challenge your every existence, for this to be the essence of the perceived as reality. Comparison over these entities and never divided by the chasm over yourself, for the eloquently infinite articulation, enduring, or the authenticity for the authority, over the moral matter, over the diversity, for the fabric and never defining existence, for this to be the essentially way to strand the white dominance over the tone of black perseverance, it is to find the borders of eternity, casting the hierarchy, or rather that for the unity, the structure, or despite to find the deceptive reality for the matrix. In the never-ending spiral of self-doubt, questioning of the value for the position of the time, for the nature, for the disembodiment of a reflection, if I can find the courage to confront that. Essence of the soul for the conductive of myself, and the quarters to never define the true nature, for this to be the mere league of being enough, for this to be a chess piece, grand scheme. Seeking validation for those who understand it, for the not the core. Not for the adoration, for the esteem, for the request, this respect, for the yearning, over the pursuit, for the soul, over the stillness, system, over the unsurrounded. It's during the instance for the introspection, for the that, for the comprehending of the path and enlightenment. Equity for the not solely eternity, for the external, for the not eternal as well. Battles that wage, for not the only against that. Profitable or palatable for the fortifications. Subjugate the sun and barricade. Aiming at for this perception of the self-worth is derived for the unwanted over the behave, construct within, balance what's within, the aftermath of that, trust this return to the hope of the laws of this defined thing of you for the playing make up to that for the wrath of the unleashed. You find abuse of the continuation of the what's consumed. The morning revelation for the dear continue who are trapped for the hopelessness, the weight of silence and the suffocating of the trail of another, or you can barely understand the heart for so perfectly confused with this feeling of encouragement for the poison of love is killing you. It's objective for the disposition, for the grains of time, for the end, for the ever, for the temper, for the dragon, enough for the pain, for the nature, just exclusive for the experience. And even more for the potent memories that ultimately erasing over your tracing over the former instances, for the like of the accumulating over the snowdrift, the barricade, over the burying, over the pyre, this estimation over yourself, and the living over the reconciliation over the remaining of the past and perseverance you find relentless enough to be the illusion. Consistent enough of the present upheld, unspoken the whole cold. This is consensual enough of the conformity of the reality in the soul, and affirmation over what you find a sense of permanent for the perspective of the found. Disposition and subjected to supposition is just what you remind me of. Misty rain, the humid day for the gentle breeze. This is my revealing perception. And the evidence of what you brought in this would be temporary for the give and take. This me, every thought, wish, desire, the grief of yours, this to bury or burn with mutual fire. Bloody secrets of the struggling over the way for the decision over what you wait for, the patience enough to shut up and you can tell the opinions and right to feel them. Simply what's needed for the who is that, who is she real? It's the real question ever to find a duality for the evolution of a queen, for the to find a woman, or the part of this for the obscure enough for the loaning of a memory for this asphalt for the broken, never highway for the leading of what you drive you crazy. The unraveling of the truth for starting putting what you find a naked breeze to breathe through. So this is time to find the shadows of the betrayal over the frequent enough to be taken enough of the transparent and see pain taken away from the eloquent enough to convey. This is not the aftermath of loving you. You can find that Sunday dry. Torture, still stay alive. Conflicting with people with blind, rage, sadness, and trying to go survive. This world through the madness enough to feel the sea. What I see is still the ashes of the cause of the closest sight of dissipation and weight. In essence of uniqueness of the part of something beautiful. This would be not the pity party which you would enter. And I hope that this fine disclosing satisfies tomorrow recognition that sometimes when we can do this would be the here and now. Let it go.
railroad tracks and follow them to the station of my enemies. A cobalt-toothed man pitches pennies at my mugshot negative. All over the United States, there are toddlers in the rock. I see why everyone out here got in the big cosmic basket, and why blood agreements mean a lot, and why I get shot back at. I understand the psycho-spiritual refusal to write white history or take the glass freeway. White skin tattooed on my right forearm, ricochet sewers near where I collapsed into a rat-infested manhood. My new existence is living graffiti. In the kitchen with a lot of gun cylinders to hack up. House of God in part, no cops in part. My body brings down the Christmas. The new bullets pray over blankets made from the old bullets. Pray over the 28th hour's next beauty mark. Extrajudicial Confederate statue restoration, the waistband before the next protest post. Hey, by the way, time is not an illusion, Your Honor. I will save your deaths for last. You are witty, Your Honor. You're moving money again, Your Honor. It is only raining one thing. Non-white cops and prison guard shadows reminded me of spoiled milk floating on an oil spill in the neighborhood, making a lot of fuss over its demise. A new lake for a Black Panther party. Malcolm X's ballroom jacket slung over my son's shoulder, the figment of village, a new news to a new white preacher, all in an abstract painting of a president. They bought slavery some time, didn't he? The tanted screeches of military boats and election Tuesday cars. A cold-blooded study in leg irons proved that some white people have actually fondled nooses. That sundown couples made their vows of love over opaque piece plastic and bolt-action audiences. The Medgar Evers second is definitely my favorite law of science. Fondle news clippings and primitive Methodists, my arm changes imperialism. Simple policing versus structural frenzies. Elementary school script versus even wider white spectrums. Arliss bleeding and the challenge of watching civilians think. Terrible rituals they have around the corner. They let their elders beg for public mercy. I'm gonna go ahead and sharpen these kids' heads and their arrows myself to see how much gravy spills out of family crest. Modern fans of war, well, with their t-shirt poems and t-shirt guilt. And me having on the cheapest pair of shoes on the bus, I had no choice but to read the city walls for signs of my life. You know, apparently too much of San Francisco was not there in the first place. This dream requires more condemned Africans, to put another way, state violence rises down. Or still life is just getting warmed up. Or army life is looking for a new church and ignored all other suggestions. Or folktale writers have not made up their minds as to who is gonna be their friends. You know, this is the worst downtown yet. And I brought a cigarette everywhere. I've taken many a walk to the back of a bus that led on out the back of a storyteller's prison sentence, then on out the back of slave scars, but this is my comeback face. I left my watch on the public bathroom sink and took the toilet with me. Threw it at the first bus I saw, eating single mothers half alive. It flew through the bus line number and on out the front of the White House. Hey, hopefully you find comfort downtown, but if not, we brought you enough cigarette filters to make a decent winter coat. Special species of handshake, let's all know who's king, what's the light span of uniform cloth. And this coffin needs to quit acting like those are birds singing. Rusty nails have no wings, have no voice other than that of a white world dying. Their book pages in the gas pump, catchy, isn't it? The way 3 nooses is the rule, or the way potato sack masks go so well with radio codes, or the way condemned Africans fought their way back to the ocean, only to find waves made of 1920s burnt up piano parts, European backdoor deals, and red flowers for widows who spent all day in the sun mumbling in San Francisco. Red flowers, but what's the color of a doctor visit? There are book titles in the streets. Book titles like Hero, You'd Make a Better Zero, or Hey Fur Coat Lady, the President is Dead, or Pay Me Back in Children, or they hung up their bodies in their own museums and other book titles pulled from a drum solo. Run here, hero, lied the hiding place. All the bullets in 10 precincts know where to go. There's no heaven nor any other good idea in the sky. Politics means that people did it and people do it. Understand that when in San Francisco and other places that was never really there. I bet this ocean thinks it's an ocean, but it's not. It's just 6th and Mission Street. I don't know who's king. King of thin things. You know, like America, I'm proud to deserve to die. I'm gonna eat my dinner extra slow tonight in this police state candy dispenser you all call a neighborhood. No set of manners goes unpunished. Never mind a murderer's insomnia or the tea kettle preparing everyone for police hours. I talk, facing away from the dead. They replace me with the change in my pocket.